Everybody. So we're a bit early today for news and that kind of thing. This is mostly because I'm bored sitting at home, so I thought I'd just kick it off early. So yeah, I guess we'll jump into the news. I guess. Be careful not to press the wrong one. And cool, all good. I hope. Anyway, so starting with game announcement news and that kind of thing, we have Pokemon Sword and Shield were announced at a recent Nintendo Direct. It was a Nintendo Direct this week. I'm just going to let this play. I don't have my headphones on, so you can scream at me in the chat if this is too loud. Let's just skip ahead to the actual gameplay. Go away. Anyway, I should probably... God, all sorts of shenanigans happening. Anyway, so Pokemon Sword and Shield set to take place in the Galar region, which apparently is supposed to be kind of England / Scotland. There's definitely plenty of hilarious memes going around of people doing, Scottish Twitter accents for Pokemon and characters, and that is pretty funny. It looks pretty good. It seems to be they're not using some of the things from Let's Go, like having Pokemon showing up on screen and being able to attack them, or not attack them, but engage with them if you want to or if you don't want to. But who knows how they'll go. They've introduced a couple of new starters, so here's some of the starters here. Score Bunny, he's a fire starter and a rabbit, and for some reason he has a bandage on his nose all the time. Kind of weird, but okay. And then Scrooble, who appears to be an anxiety mascot for Twitter, which is pretty funny. But some kind of weird water lizard thing, who apparently isn't invisible. And then Grookey, who is grass starter, and also a monkey. So there we go. That's the 3-starter Pokemans. And there's more on that Nintendo Direct. Like there's a lot more that they go into and stuff like that. You can read about it. But yeah, cool. New Pokemon should be out some stage on the Switch this year. Here's the starters there. This is more of a PSA kind of thing, but the Division 2 has an open beta this weekend. So now. It will run from the 1st to the 4th. So the first was yesterday, Friday, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So you've got till Monday to play it, depending on your region, I guess. I have no particular interest in getting the Division 2 because I've just been burned on these kind of games as services and looty schlooters and that kind of thing. I just don't have I don't have enough people in my life who play these kind of games with me, so I'd only be doing it solo, and that's of no interest to me. And 2, I just didn't like the first division, so there's that. But it's available, you can download it now, and off you go. The PlayStation Plus games for this month, so they're not actually out yet. They won't be out till next Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on where you are in the world. But you've got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remaster, and you've got The Witness. So whatever about Call of Duty Remaster, it's got all those shenanigans that we've gone on about before, in that they introduced loot boxes that were not in the original game. You have to buy the map packs again, so it's not like standard industry practice of just putting everything in the remaster game. But it is standard Activision industry practice, but there we go. The Witness is an interesting first-person It's an interesting first-person puzzle game, but it is also a very difficult first-person puzzle game. What is up with this website? I had a lot of fun playing it, but definitely the puzzles can really be aggravating after a while. So have a walkthrough nearby, I think, just to cut down on the aggravation. But it's a good game, and if you have PlayStation Plus, it is somewhat free. You did have to pay for PlayStation Plus after all. Probably not all uninteresting news for everybody else, but it's interesting to me. Ni no Kuni 2 is getting another DLC pack. This is their third pack, I think, now. The Tale of a Timeless Tome. They do love their alliteration. So this appears to be kind of harkening back to the original Ni no Kuni. So there's a couple of characters returning that were in the original game. There's a couple of items and things like that that are showing up. The Wizard's Companion is something that was used a lot in the first game. So it'll be interesting to see how they attempt to, or if they even attempt to tie the two games together, because they don't actually share that much in common. But it might be fun to see. I'm waiting until all of the DLC is out before I go back to Ni no Kuni 2 because it's a big game. So that's kind of all the game announcements. This is more just kind of stupid shit that happened in the industry this week. So Plague Inc. dev to add anti-vaxxers to the game after petition goes viral. So this is kind of... there was a petition on Twitter, or on... Well, not on Twitter, but advertised on Twitter, shall we say, on change.org, to add anti-vaxxers as a buff, basically saying that, your plague does better in areas where there are high anti-vaxxers, which is pretty funny to me anyway. So Plague Inc., if you're not familiar, it's started off as a mobile title, I think, but I think you can get it on PC and a couple of consoles now. But you create a plague, a disease. You choose an area in the world where you want to set it loose, and basically the goal of the game is to constantly monitor your disease and the world's reactions to it, and to try and take over the world, to infect everybody on the planet. Not to kill everybody, but to infect everybody. Because the first time I played it, I made my disease too powerful, and it just killed everybody. Where did I set it loose? It killed everybody in Canada. And it never got out of Canada. It just killed everybody. But yeah, so you have to kind of slowly add it in. But yeah, there's a buff. It's a buff now for Plague Inc. So that's pretty funny. I don't know if it's been released yet, but I guess there are plans to do it. Elite Dangerous player stranded for 3 months has been rescued, so that's good to hear. So this was kind of news last week or 2 weeks ago maybe. But Elite Dangerous is this kind of huge, like galaxy scale 1-to-1. Well, not 1-to-1 because we haven't mapped out the whole galaxy, but it's a big thing where things have to take place in real time. So one person somehow got slingshotted, way out of the way for most people, and didn't have enough fuel to get back, so he's pretty much stuck there. There's no fast travel or resets or anything like that in Elite Dangerous. So he needed someone to come get him. And someone did, so that's pretty good. It took them a long time to get there, 141 light years. But yeah, they got him some fuel and they managed to get him back, so that's fun. That's like community interaction. A good kind of community interaction in video games. But there's the Twitch of them actually doing it and things like that. So again, links are available in the archive. They'll be in the description on YouTube. Super Smash Bros. Melee will not be at EVO, so this is the official EVO lineup. You've got Units, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Cross Tag Battle, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Soul Calibur 6, Mortal Kombat 11, and Samurai Showdown. So yeah, Melee is not there, probably for the best. The Melee setups have been basically the same for the last number of years that they've been there. The top, however you want to put it, top 10, top 8, top 4 players are basically the same people every time. They play the same characters every time, and there's nothing new to the game anymore. It's not really drawing in people. It's not drawing in new people, and any new people who do decide to take up Melee will quickly learn that they're up against people with years of experience on Melee. Add to that the technology is starting to become broken. It's a GameCube game. That means it needs a CRT monitor. So it's all kind of bullshit. And topping all that off, the Melee community is kind of not great. So it's not there anymore. It's been replaced with Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate's a really good game. I know Melee players probably aren't particularly happy about that, but it's like 10 of them versus considerably more people who want to see Ultimate. It's also good that they've added a couple of games that aren't really finished. Or I'm not sure if that's good, but Mortal Kombat 11 is not done. Samurai Showdown I think is still in early access. I don't know about Unist. I think that is also still in early access, but interesting. The point is those games are evolving, so you will like be seeing new things from them. So that's good. That's kind of what you want to see from a spectator point of view. You don't want to be seeing the same fight constantly over and over and over again. Okay, so that's all the kind of good, fun news. Maybe not fun for Melee players, but here's the bad news. Jesus Christ, Polygon. Is this really necessary? What have I done? Okay, I'm gonna... Oh. Okay, anyway. Right, Taiwanese game mocks Chinese president and Chinese gamers review bomb it. So, this is a new horror game, Devotion, from the same guys who did Detention, which was another kind of Asian horror game. It's got a bit of a PT vibe to it, so it's a first-person horror, ghosts and things running at your face and that kind of thing. It's a good game, but there was a poster somewhere in it. One of the game assets was left in. Who knows if it was actually left in by mistake? But there you go, mocking the Chinese president Xi Jinping, basically making him. There's a popular mock for him is to say that he looks like Winnie the Pooh because he kind of sort of does. It's pretty funny. But Chinese players basically review bombed the game on Steam, and the developer kind of had to come back and say, we're sorry, we left that in the game. It wasn't supposed to be there. But yeah, I have a feeling it was supposed to be there. But moving on from that was early in the week. But later on in the week, Devotion pulled from Steam, so it's no longer actually available. So one thing to worry about there is like censorship and all that thing. But the thing is, Steam operates in China. People can play those games there, and they do kind of have to stay on the good side of, their business partners, if you want to put it that way. We don't know if it was Steam that pulled the game or if the developers themselves pulled it. Because after developer Red Candle apologized, the game mysteriously disappeared from Steam. Technical issues that cause unexpected crashes, among other reasons, but, it's almost certainly because of this. But you can take them at their word that they took it down because the game was unstable, but... there are plenty of games that are still up on Steam that are unstable, so who knows. Skybound cancels all versions of Overkill's The Walking Dead. So this has kind of been coming for a while. Skybound Entertainment asked, or not asked, but, why can't I think of words right now? Engaged Starbreeze, that's not the word I want to use, but anyway, Starbreeze to make a first-person The Walking Dead game. Starbreeze probably best known now for the Payday series of games, Payday 2, which is very good, and they were brought on to do The Walking Dead, but there have been a series of shenanigans happening at that developer since then, and it's kind of expected that this game wasn't going to do too well. So you can check out, there's another YouTuber, maybe I'm not a YouTuber anymore, but there's Matt McMuscles has a kind of retrospective on Starbreeze and Overkill's The Walking Dead in particular. That came out before this news, but it's really interesting just to get what was going on in the developer, because there's some serious bullshit happening there, but this isn't exactly surprising. But yeah, it's gone, or will be gone in the future. Right, back to Activision news. Activision's Bobby Kotick and EA's Andrew Wilson among most overpaid CEOs in the US. So this is overpaid. I honestly can't think of English at all today. What the hell's going on with me? As You Sow is a non-profit foundation that basically put out this top 100 list of overpaid CEOs, and they have a couple of different criteria for it. One, they have like straight up just money, how much they're paid. Then there's their shareholders voting for these bonus packages that they get, and then there's like the ratio of how much the CEO is paid versus how much the average employee at that company is paid. So it's not good. So you've got Bobby Kotick, his salary is reported to be this ridiculous number, which is 300 times more than his average employee. The average employee now, not the lowest paid employee, the average employee. 300 times, for fuck's sake. An excess payment, that's, As You So believe this is in excess of this, it's in excess of considerably more than that, but okay. Andrew Wilson is more or less the same. He's paid even more. 97% of his shareholders think that's fine. And it's, almost 400 times the average employee. There's a couple of other ones in here, like Disney, Fox, McDonald's, and so on. They're up higher. So, like, these guys aren't even at the top rank. I think Bobby Kotick came in at 40 something. The number mustn't be in this article, must be in a different article. Here it is. 45 for Bobby Kotick, number 98 for Andrew Wilson. So there are more overpaid CEOs, but this is the gaming industry, and it's particularly galling since both companies have had layoffs. They had layoffs. EA had layoffs last week, their Australian studio, and Activision laid off 800 people the week before that. So and you're getting paid 300 times more than your average employee. There's something fucking wrong there. Okay, here's the dumbest news of the year. We're only coming into March now, and this may actually be the stupidest fucking news story. Anyway, THQ Nordic, who've been kind of in the news for just gobbling up various IPs and trying to make themselves a mega publisher, but decided to do an AMA on 8chan. Now, I asked around my workplace, and it's like, who even knows what 8chan is? I knew what it was because I'm on the internet too much. But yeah, a lot of people didn't understand. They thought I was making a joke about 4chan. It kind of is a joke about 4chan. 8chan came about because people at 4chan thought they were too edgy and too garbage human beings, and pushed them out, and they made their own thing, twice as bad or twice as good, depending on how they want to look at it, and they made 8chan. 8chan is just a cesspool of the internet. It's got bigotry, it's got racism, it's got child porn, it's got all sorts of horrible shit. And THQ Nordic decided, we'll do an AMA there. Fucking idiots. This, quickly backlashed. They, tried to double down on it. The opportunity was there, and we took it, and someone said they'd get rid of the nasty stuff. So they knew there was nasty stuff. Potentially they didn't know how nasty, but they knew, and they decided to go ahead on it anyway. But yeah, there was the walk back that everyone more or less kind of knew was happening. I personally agreed to this AMA without doing my due diligence. Why didn't you? You absolute fucking knob end. I do not condone child pornography, white percent, all the horrible shit that no one wants to have any touch with. So that's bad enough, that doesn't reflect well on THQ Nordic, but they have developers that that they represent, that they publish their games for, and they too were not particularly happy about this. So here's a developer of, it's Coffee Stain, but what fucking game did Coffee Stain make again? Oh yeah, the Goat Simulator games, that's what it was. But they're basically saying, we're affiliated with this THQ Nordic, but this THQ Nordic is the one who did the AMA. So they're, they're affiliated but not associated, if that makes sense. But, not everybody knows that. They've got the same name, So it's going to reflect badly on any developer who's associated with THQ Nordic. But yeah, right now 8chan's front page displays threads on Nazism, rational anti-Semitism, and the India-Pakistan tension. But it's also got, Lolly, which is Zoophilia, Jesus. Anyway, you shouldn't be on that website. The fact that this guy still has his job is actually ridiculous. Anyway, I left the desktop audio on. Oh well. I hope you weren't hearing like weird sounds there. Anyway, that's the news for this week. Some interesting game announcements. A new Pokemon. It does unfortunately appear to be the same as the old Pokemon. So I don't know if you really like that kind of thing. Personally, I've never played a Pokemon RPG. Like the first one I played was Let's Go, which is obviously very simplified and very different to the other traditional Pokemon RPGs. So the reason I hadn't played one is because I just never had a console for it. But I have a Switch now, so I will probably get it. I mean, it will be my first Pokemon RPG, but it does seem to be very classic, and that's good for some things. But it's also an indication of no development or evolution. I don't know. Division 2, I'm going to give the beta a go because it's free and it's there and I have it downloaded. So, yeah, I'll check it out. I still don't think it's going to change my mind about getting the game for the above reasons. They're outside the control of the game. The game will not... If the game could somehow get me friends that play online, that would be great. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to do that. That's asking a bit much. The PlayStation Plus lineup, I have no interest in Call of Duty. And I've played The Witness. I finished it. So, again, no interest in going back to it. Ni no Kuni, more DLC, cool. Again, I'm waiting until all of it is out, or they have said that all of it is out, so I will wait. Plague Inc., I boot it up every now and again just to check it out, but it's pretty funny news. Yeah, and then various horse shit from the industry. Right, so that's the news this week. There will be no stream today because, as you may have noticed, I'm not feeling particularly well. I can't even speak the English correctly. So, yeah, there won't be a stream today. If I'm still feeling bad, there probably won't be a stream tomorrow either. So, apologies for that. Hopefully, I'll be over it, or at least coherent. So, I'm not feeling particularly great at all. But, yeah, if I'm back tomorrow for streaming, I think it will be Onimusha. Because the video that is currently up is just so bad and corrupted. So I kind of want a clean video for Onimusha. So if you are interested, sure, hang around. It's a short game. It potentially could actually finish it, but probably not. But yeah, that all assuming I'm not dead tomorrow. We're coming into a new month, so Games of February video will be up at some point, hopefully Monday. I'm aiming for basically the first Monday of the month. That's kind of my goal for the Games of videos. I missed it for Games of January, but hopefully going forward, that's kind of the plan, that they'll be ready on the Monday. The first Monday of the month, whatever it happens to be. Okay. I might see you guys tomorrow, possibly. Who knows? Have fun anyway.